So with Christmas right around the corner, you're probably starting to think about holiday gifts to buy. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to get organized for the holidays. Hi there and welcome to Craft with Catherine. So today I'm going to talk about how to get organized for the holidays. So this year seems to be going by faster than ever, so it's a great idea to write everything down. And I've created a top 10 list on how to get organized for the holidays this year. So if you like worksheets, I've created a great Christmas gift list organizer. It's a worksheet that you can print off and write down all of your gift ideas, and you can get it for free in my free resource library, and the link is in the description below. So if you've been enjoying the videos that I've been putting out so far, make sure to subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And well, let's get started. So number one on the list is Christmas cards. So what I recommend is to get your Christmas cards started really early. I think a great idea is to purchase your cards even on Boxing Day the year before, and then that way you can store them in a filing cabinet so that you don't have to rush around worrying about where to buy your cards because you've already got them stored away. And then afterwards, what I recommend is to start on the envelopes. So what you can do is you can start putting the addresses first of everyone that you're sending cards to, and also get your address labels printed off. And then once you have the envelopes done, then the next step is just to fill in the cards. So you can add a custom message, or what's a great idea is to write a family letter and then just print that off. And you can also include pictures of your family. So the great thing about starting your cards early is that there's no harm in having them sit around for a week or so before you mail them. And then it's one thing off your list, and then you can just pop them in the mail when it's the right time to send out your cards. So number two is to create a to-do list. So what you want to do is when things pop into your head, you want to write them down right away. And then that way it will take the stress away from you because you'll have everything written down. So when you need to think about it at a later date, you don't have to stress about forgetting anything. So number three is shop early. So what I recommend is to buy your gifts throughout the year. That way you don't have to accidentally go into debt in like the last couple of months, because Christmas gifts can really add up, especially if you have a lot of people to shop for. So what you can do is you can just buy things when they go on sale and then store them away in tote boxes. And also make sure to write down everything that you've purchased so that you don't forget what you've bought for who. And what you can use is the checklist that I created, the free download, and you can find that on my blog. So number four is to set deadlines. So you want to, once you've written down your to-do list of everything you want to do, then create a deadline. Decide when you're going to get everything finished so that you're not rushing at the last moment. So number five on my list is to create a wrapping area. So I don't recommend leaving all your gifts till Christmas Eve to wrap up, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up staying up all night. So what you can do is you can create a wrapping area. All you need is a tabletop or a desk. You just clear that off, and then you can place your rolls of wrapping paper and some tape, ribbon, and tags, and then you're all set. And then as you purchase your gifts, you can wrap them up and label them and then store them away in tote boxes. Or afterwards, if you want, you can also use them for decoration. You can store them under the Christmas tree, and that'll help create more decoration for your home. Number six is to plan early for your Christmas parties. So what happens around the holidays is that everyone tends to fight over the same weekends, because there's really only maybe 3 weekends for planning Christmas parties. So keep in mind that your guests are also going to be attending their work parties and their friends and family parties. So what I recommend is to send out your invitations really early so that you can make sure that people will come to your party. And also, when you get RSVPs, then you'll know how many people are attending, and that way you can plan ahead to make sure that you research for recipes, and then you can know how much food and drink to purchase. Number 7 is get your handmade gifts done early. So handmade gifts can take a really long time. If you like knitting and sewing, Knitting projects can take a couple of weeks to complete depending on how much time that you have. So what I recommend is to do them throughout the year. Even though in the summer when it's hot and knitting may be the last thing on your mind, what I recommend is when you're relaxing in front of the TV in the evening, then that's a really great time to start on your knitted mitts and socks. And that way you can collect a whole bunch of them throughout the year, and you can just store them away and they'll be there when you need to get gifts ready. So number 8 on my list is to plan your holiday baking. So holiday baking can be really time consuming. So it's important to know when to get started. So first you want to decide who you're going to be baking for. Is it just for yourself, or will it be for a Christmas party? Or are you going to be giving out plates of Christmas cookies out to your friends? So if you're going to be giving out plates of Christmas cookies, then that means you're probably going to be making a couple different types. So what I recommend is to make the cookie dough ahead of time and freeze it. And then that way you can just pull out all the different types and bake them when it's the right time. And also make sure to keep in mind that icing cookies takes a long time as well. So you may want to get started on that at least 2 days before, so that you have enough time to decorate and package the cookies. And also if you're planning for a party, then you're probably going to want to get started around 3 days beforehand, so that you have everything made up and set aside so that you don't have to worry about last minute details. And if you're going to be making fruitcake, keep in mind that you have to start that 3 months ahead, so in September. And the number 9 tip is to get a Christmas planner. So a Christmas planner is a really great way to help you organize for the holidays. It will give you a place to write down your baking list, your Christmas card list with all the addresses for this year and next year, as well as keeping track of all family tradition and as well as the gifts. So I've created a really great Christmas planner, and you can find the link below as well as on my blog. And the number 10 tip is to get ready for house guests. So if you're planning a party, so it's more than likely that you'll have someone staying at your place. So what I recommend is getting your spare room ready. So quite often a spare room, it can become a dumping ground for random projects or exercise equipment or just random things. So it's a great idea just to get that moved out of the way, and also create a space for your guests to put their luggage. And I also recommend having a few extra toiletries, because it's really easy when people are packing to forget things like their shampoo or their hair dryer. So it's good to have those out, and also to put out an extra towel. And another thoughtful detail is to have a couple blankets and pillows out, because sometimes people like to sleep with extra pillows and blankets. And another thing to think about when having guests is you may want to put a nightlight in the hallway, because if someone gets up in the middle of the night, then it's nice to make it easy for them to see where to go. As well, it's a great time to create a guest Wi-Fi password so that you can give that to your guests so that they can log in with your Wi-Fi. Well, I hope that you enjoyed my top 10 tips for getting organized for the holidays, and make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.